if you are an accountant or you are thinking of starting your own accounting firm, then you are probably thinking, is it still worth it to start an accounting firm or to stay in accounting? Because as you already know, AI is there already and is automating a lot of accounting work. So is there a point where business owners simply don't need accountants anymore? They just let their AI bot do everything, and then the whole accounting industry will go down and you will lose your business. In this video, I'm going to give you a couple of ideas and discuss exactly if accounting is still worth it to pursue, but also why. Now, I came up with those things by doing a couple of things. First of all, I work with hundreds of accountants to actually help them get more clients. I will quickly introduce myself. My name is Daan, owner of Accounting Kings, where we work with accountants to get them higher paying clients. So I know everything about the accounting industry in terms of growth, and I do a lot of research also in the AI systems because it interests me. I also have a client that actually automated almost everything about bookkeeping. He has a couple of bots that take over everything from A to C for bookkeeping. So I talked with him, and it's actually pretty interesting because, as you already know, with ChatGPT and everything, there are already a lot of software that you can use to automate some tasks. And I've been talking a lot with accountants that are using the software. And I'm actually from the Netherlands, and one of the people that entered like the Forbes 500, the Forbes list in the Netherlands, is actually someone that built an accounting automation software. So I've been keeping a close look on it, and in this video I'm going to give you all my findings. So first of all, I don't think that the accounting industry will go down, but it's changing a lot and very, very fast. There are already a lot of software, for example, that can automate tax planning, where it took you hours and hours and hours to create a tax plan, analyze everything, do research. There's software right now where you can just put basic information from the client, maybe upload a tax return for the last couple of years, and it will create the full tax plan for you. Same thing is going to happen with bookkeeping, and same thing is going to happen with some accounting tasks and dashboards and everything, right? So the capacity that you will have will increase drastically. Right now in the US, there is a little bit of a shortage of accountants. There are more businesses and there are less accountants. So I actually think it will kind of compensate each other. There are a lot of accounting firms right now that are owned by little older people that are retiring, and a lot of people are selling their clients as kind of like their retirement. I think with the AI that the capacity will increase and that this problem will kind of be solved, because the old accounting firms, they are leaving the industry, right? And the new accountants, they will adopt the AI softwares. They will be able to serve way more clients than the typical accounting firm is right now. So I think that if you are starting an accounting firm or you own an accounting firm already and you still want to be around in the next like 5 to 10 years, it's crucial that you are keeping an eye on all of the softwares you can use to automate work. Because what will happen in my theory is that since the capacity will go up, you will be able to serve way more clients. A lot of accounting firms will drop their prices, right? Simply because, hey, I have a lot of work. Simply because they have way more capacity, there are still a lot of people coming in, and for bookkeeping and everything, since it's just probably going to take you a couple minutes to serve a client for a whole month, it makes sense that you can drop pricing, right? So I think that if you are not adopting to AI and you are not dropping the pricing for, and I want to stress this, for those simple automatable tasks like a tax prep, maybe even some tax planning can be automated, and the bookkeeping stuff, that you will be out of business in no time, because this is probably the simple stuff that can be automated. With tax planning, there will probably still be some aspect of thinking and actual research. So I actually think that the accountants that are not adopting and lowering pricing with these simple tasks will be out of business in no time. Because I think also that there are software coming where the business owners can do all of this themselves, right? Let's say that a business is doing maybe like 100,000 per year, and it can only be a couple $100 worth of bookkeeping, there's probably a software coming where they can just do it themselves, very easy way. With that being said, I also do think that CFO and advisory and consulting services will be the way to go. Reason being is because AI can do all of this manual data work, right? Bookkeeping stuff. But actually interpreting the data with full context and making plans and giving advice, I think is still quite hard. Maybe in the future, in like 10 years, it will change too. But I think in the next couple of years that people still want to get the advice from people, because it's very hard for an AI company, as an example, to give the guarantee, okay, our AI will always make sure that the advice is correct, or our AI will guarantee maximum savings or compliance, as an example. So it's very hard for the AI softwares to make those claims because they are very much aware that AI can still make mistakes, right? And with humans, they can actually give some form of a guarantee, especially with giving those advisory services. That's an actual very big value add, as you probably already know, which is very hard for AI to do because they need full context. And sure, the business owner can give full context to the AI. However, oftentimes the business owner doesn't know actually what context the AI or the advisory service provider needs to give the advice. You probably experience this yourself where you fill something in ChatGPT and you want to fill stuff in and it gives advice, and the advice doesn't really make a lot of sense, and simply because you haven't really given it the information that it needs to actually give you the right advice. There will come software that then start asking you questions, sure, but I do think that getting the advice from a real human being with true expertise in a specific industry will still be very valuable. And this actually brings me to my next point: specific industry. So a lot of accounting firms right now, they are very general, right? They are generalists. They work with a trucking company, an e-com business, maybe like restaurant. They have all types of different businesses. But I think that since the advisory services will be way more valuable, that niching down is even more important. Because you can imagine if those data entry tasks will be automatable, right? And you will drop pricing. Either you need to serve a lot of clients, or you can move to the advisory, the fractional CFO services, still do the bookkeeping and the tax stuff, but that's not really where you make the money unless you have a huge amount of clients. But if you move more to the CFO advisory services, that's really where you can that's really where you can deliver most value and where you can actually make more money per client, right? And we all know it's better to have 10 clients that pay you 100,000 per year than 1,000 clients paying you 100,000 per year. So it's just really important that you actually move to a specific industry, or can be a few industries that are kind of similar, because then you can actually deliver more value. And if you deliver more value, more people will come to you for the fractional CFO advisory services, and you can actually also charge more. So this way you can still compete on those tax prep, planning and bookkeeping services, which I think will be automatable pretty soon. But you can also have the aspect of interacting with the client, charging them retainers of 2, 3, 4, maybe even $10,000 per month, because you are delivering a lot of value that AI is not really capable of doing. Besides that, I also do think that a lot of business owners, even with AI that can automate everything, don't even want to spend time figuring out all of those software. Because you can imagine if they already struggle to give their documents on time, they are not going to spend a few hours actually researching all of the AI. I do think that there will be very easy systems for the business owners themselves, because at the end of the day, that's the biggest threat, right? That the business can do it themselves. But I do think that they just always want to, first of all, they don't want to spend time researching everything. But second of all, I do think that they like it if they have someone either in their company, in-house, or outsourced to an accounting firm that just does it for them. Because again, AI still makes mistakes, and I do not think that there will be software anytime soon that can literally guarantee compliance and guarantee savings and guarantee that their advice is always on point. Because the AI needs to get the information and context from the business owner to actually do its job. And only if you have a critical thinking AI, which may be possible, but I do not think anytime soon, specifically, especially with those guarantees, only then you can actually replace the whole advisory and fractional CFO stuff. I will have to say though that this is also a huge opportunity for you, since if you are one of those accountants that is an early adopter of the AI, you are always doing your research in software that you can use to automate work, then you will be one of those firms that can actually take the new market, the new business owners, and again, maybe lower the price a little bit, but your margins will probably be higher than your competitors, right? So if you charge less, more people will come to you. But if you make more, it's like the best outcome possible, right? So I do think that if you are an early adapter and you have those software and you can actually follow the example that I just gave, I do think that you will be able to scale your firm very, very fast. Also, if you have this system where you can charge less but make more per client, the clients that are coming from the accounting firms that are currently retiring, you will be able to take them over quite fast, especially if you buy a firm and you tell the clients that you are essentially buying, hey, you will actually pay less for my service. Of course, they are going to stick around. Some of them may fall off, but the downside of, for example, buying a firm right now is that you buy a client and it may leave after a few months, right? So I think if you are an early adapter and in the next few months or years, you are really keeping an eye on which software can automate the work, that it will be a huge opportunity. And if you do not do this, you will simply fall behind, right? You can kind of see this as the factories where, for example, with Ford, we all know that they had a lot of people working and they systemized the whole process of creating a car. And at some point, they just needed to adapt, right? They needed to replace the humans with machines because otherwise their competition will wipe them out. It's the same thing with you. If you are not going to replace the humans from a factory, or for example, in this instance, I will be very direct, if you do not replace your bookkeeper with AI, you will be one of those firms that is falling behind. So to wrap this all up, a couple of action steps. Number one, really start researching the AI software so that you can automate the work. Pick a specific industry that you are interested in, that you think you can deliver a lot of value to. Can be a couple, but especially if you are going to do any type of marketing, focus on one specific industry. Make sure that you have a really good offer with some form of CFO advisory in there. Make sure that you are shifting your pricing away from just the hourly billing to an actual value add, right? Charge based on the value you are adding to the actual business, not on how long you actually worked. Because if you are going to charge based on 5 minutes of work, you literally need thousands of clients to actually make a small living for yourself. And really focus on attracting more higher quality clients, right? You need to actually have a plan to be able to deliver more value to your clients so that you can charge more for those value add services instead of being a commodity in the next couple of years where everything that you do is focused on dropping the price, implementing more AI, and then you will have thousands of clients. And sure, the margins may still be doable, but it will be a huge headache if you have triple, quadruple, or 10 extra clients that you have right now for the same profits. So if you are an accountant, I hope this really helped. If you want help with attracting those higher value add clients, there's a link in the description. You can click on it to see how we can actually help you get those in a way where we only make money if you do too. If you learned something, make sure you like and subscribe so you do not miss any other videos. I may record a video later on with the software that I found. And if you have specific questions, leave them in the comments. Cheers.